for your trouble, Maggie. He was a good man. God be good to him.
He was so.
He was a good man, Maggie. If you had a feeling, it was a feeling that he had.
They say he had a speedy release. God be good to him, and that's a lot.
Worse now if he was after spending 6 or 7 months inside the sick bed.
He went quick, and that was the way he wanted it.
That was a blessing.
That was a lot, all right. Make no mistake. We can't all go the way we'd like.
We can't.
You may say we can't. There's no one can.
He was a cheerful sort of a man.
Cheerful is the word.
What age was he?
He was just turned 60.
Oh, he didn't get a bad share of it.
Oh, there's a lot of them never saw 60.
And a lot of them that never will. We must be thankful for all things and accept the holy will of God.
We must indeed. Well, I won't be holding you up if you're in a hurry.
We understand, Maggie, that you'd want to be alone at a time like this, but would you have any notion of where Madge Gibbons is buried? There's no stone over her.
I've no idea. Sure isn't one grave as good as another. There's the thought that counts, you know?
Won't you go over today on the reef?
I won't.
With Mother?
Don't butt me now like a good girl. I'm in no humour for it.
I just thought
Wait!
it would be the correct thing to do.
You are not old enough yet to know what is correct and what is not correct. God forgive me if there's two things I can't endure. 'Tis the likes of them to cut a wall in about the dead, and the other is the thump of clods on a timber coffin. I couldn't bear to watch that gang around the trench and they trying to look sorry.
Well, can I go over to help with the laying of the reef?
No. Your brothers and sisters can do that. It isn't that the reeds will do him any good. It's the truth. It's a hard thing to say about my own husband, but it's what they'll be saying in the pubs after the funeral. It's what everybody knows. I'm not a trained mourner, Gert. I can't all go nor moan or look for the arm of another hypocrite to support me.
It's a terrible thing to say.
Well, it's the truth.
He was no saint, but he was my father. I'm going over to the grave.
You'll stay where you are. I have enough to contend with without my youngest wanting to desert me in my hour of need. Call Byrne there. He's at the edge of the crowd somewhere.
Mr. Byrne? Mr. Byrne? Katie's got the flowers in her arms. She's left to do everything.
She's the only one he had any time for. He liked them sonsy, and she's all that. We'll be knocked out of her now, though, I promise you that.
Sorry if you're in trouble, Maggie. You too, miss.
You look it too, Byrne. Now, I want a 6 foot high limestone monument there. 3 feet across, 3 inches thick.
You're the boss, Maggie.
You can start tomorrow.
It's not customary, Maggie.
What isn't?
They normally wait the 4 months before putting up the stone.
Is it they will be paying you, or Big Maggie Pulpin?
I don't know if I can do it tomorrow. I have to make a start on a Celtic cross for Fonzie McMahon.
How long is Fonzie dead now?
Going on 14 months. Why?
Seeing as he's waited so long, he'll wait a few more days.
Oh, I don't know now. Just commissioned with a bit.
Suit yourself. If you won't do it, Cornelius Breen will do it for me.
Alright. I'll start tomorrow.
Good. How much will it be?
I don't know offhand now. There's a lot of things to be taken into consideration.
6 feet by 3 feet by 3 inches. You aren't a schoolboy.
6 feet by 3 feet by 3 inches. What's a quarter of 18 feet?
In
4.5 feet.
the honour of God, hurry up. It isn't a supermarket we're putting over him.
I don't want to wrong you, man.
You won't, Byrne.
I can't do it for a penny less than £70.
£60.
What?
Cash.
Sorry.
On the nose.
Materials are awful expensive, ma'am.
£60 now. It's all there, Byrne.
I know, ma'am, but I don't want to wrong you.
The day you wrong me, Byrne, is the day you get me pregnant.
All the burns, big and small. Couldn't do that, wouldn't do that. Take softer stone than you, Maggie.
Here's what you'll inscribe on it. It's all made out.
Walter Palpin died March 25th, 1963, aged 60 years, rest in peace. Wasn't hard to make it out.
Hard enough if you were me.
No charge for a little extra, flesh it out a bit.
That's the lot. There's no more to be said.
Well, no, it isn't for me to say, but they'd normally put erected by his devoted wife, or erected by his loving wife and family, or something in that line.
Is that a fact? Well, Byrne, there's enough lies written on the headstones of Ireland without my adding to them.
I've known modern men that died, Maggie, and they were sorely missed.
I don't doubt you.
One last thing. Which way do you want it facing?
I'm easy about that, Byrne, so long as it don't face towards me.
You didn't hate him that much.
Didn't I now?
But you couldn't hate a person that much. What's going to happen now?
The first thing I'm going to do is call a meeting. And this will be the right choir meeting. There'll be no proposing or seconding. I have a shop and a farm to run. They're going to be run profitably or not run at all.
Come off it. There has to be money.
Has there now?
Well, he was insured for thousands.
You were getting a bit too forward for my liking. You'll turn out like your father if you aren't careful.
That's not fair. I always took your side in everything.
You did, because you had to.
You're rotten.
You know very well he preferred Katie to you.
Yeah, to you too.
How dare you talk like that to your mother? I could tell you things about your late lamented father that would really shock you. This is one place I won't be buried, I can tell you that. I'll fix that shortly too. The earth is a bad enough bed without bedposts like these.
It was a bloody big funeral. They were there from the city of Limerick.
Actually,
That was a carload from Cork.
I'm with the Dublin accent, shook my head.
Did you fix it with the grave diggers?
She's all settled.
And the undertakers?
Paid in full. Receipt.
In the honour of God, dry your eyes and don't be making a show of yourself.
But I'm entitled to cry and my father's dead.
This one before this, you should have cried for it.
Maybe I did.
If you bladder it near your eyes and think
Talk easy, Letchy.
We'll be noticed.
we're noticed long ago. Maybe the two of you will turn into men now. Long enough you stood back from him.
It's not fair.
But what about the times he blackguarded her?
You were no men. You didn't haul out and level him.
You was a big
Oh,
man.
sure wasn't the two of you.
Look, I was never a man to come between husband and wife, let alone my own father and mother.
You let him abuse me.
You were well able for it. Anyone that abused you on second in the long run
So I get you home.
was never a home
My
mother.
father saw
And for the love of God.
We haven't stopped squawking at one another since the man died.
Maybe now that he's out of the way, we might turn into some kind of a family again.
It's a terrible thing to say.
You're a great one for closing your eyes with the dirt under your feet.
Oh, I know it is a very courageous line of chatter now that he's safely out of the way.
I'm warning you, miss, to hold your tongue. There are some changes coming shortly that might not altogether appeal to you.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
That's right, you say your little piece now, because there's a time coming when you won't have much to say for yourself.
Oh, but what are you going to do? Lock me in, is it?
There'll be no need for that. You were always so fond of the good times, we'll see what you're like when the good times are taken away from you.
This is a terrible way to be carrying on out here in public.
You're right, Morris. Come on away, we have a shop to open.
You're not opening the shop today. Surely to God.
Why not?
But he's only after being buried.
Not another word out of you, madam. Come along, all of you.
Palpin.
Who's that?
It's Crawford's traveller.
Last time I paid stuff for a funeral.
Well, it's better late than never.
Terribly sorry I'm late, Mrs. Palpin. Sorry for your troubles.
I know that, Mr. Heelan. It was good of you to come.
I had to break a journey. I was only by accident I found out about it. I was on my way to Limerick and I pulled up to get some petrol. The next thing you know, the attendant told me that Walter Palpin was dead. I hardly believed him. Sorry for your trouble, Katie.
I know that, Teddy. It was nice of you to come.
It was the least I could do. Sorry, guards.
Thanks, Teddy.
Listen, will you take this?
Well, thanks very much.
Sorry again, Mrs. Palpin. If I'd known, I'd have done everything to be here on time.
We know that, Mr. Heelan.
If there's anything I can do, anything at all, don't
Listen,
hesitate to ask.
I think we better be going.
And listen, I've got the car outside. I could take some of you down.
Yeah, actually, I think I'll go with you.
Well, I'll come too if there's room for the two
Oh,
of
No,
us.
there's
Katie,
plenty
you
of room.
go with your brothers. I'll go with Gert and Mr. Heelan. I have a few matters to settle in town, Mr. Heelan, if you don't mind waiting a few minutes while I look after my affairs.
Half all day.
Good, that's settled then. Let's get out of this place.
Oh, I'm not sure I like that fella.
Alright, shut up. You're just jealous of him.
They say he's alright, Whores Master.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about those kind of
Horse
things.
master.
We can't find her anywhere.
Oh, maybe 'tisn't here she's buried at all.
Excuse me, miss. We can't find Madge Gibbons' grave.
Ask Mr. Byrne. He knows all about the graves around here.
Thank you, miss. We'll do that.
And please, say a prayer for my father while you pray for Madge Gibbons.
God knows he left a mighty strange letter behind him.
Have class, one of the worst of them.
Yes, there's a bit of spirit there.
Spirit, big Maggie pulpins and dead-handed breaking spirits.
Good day, folks.
Good day to you, Mr. Byrne. Fine funeral considering.
Oh, yes, considering.
They say he left her comfortable.
Oh, there's no shortage of money in that house. The shop does a good business, and that's a good a farm as ever throw up a cow.
He was a hard man, though.
There were plenty harder, but they got away with it. He was a man I liked. She was wrong for him. She married him for the security.
He was fond of a woman now and again. That's what they say.
And by the way, you weren't if you ever got the opportunity.
Who is without fault, sir?
He got his own way always. That's what happened to him. When you have the money and the appearances, you get the opportunities. Still, he was a man I liked. She was wrong for him. Another woman would have made a better fish of it. 'Tis a mistake to fight fire with fire.
Well, they say he drank too.
A bottle of whiskey was no bother to that man for his breakfast.
Or after it.
Oh, sure, whiskey and women. They're sure invoices for a coffin.
He wasn't the worst.
But you must admit he sired a noble share of likely men.
Oh, don't I know it? Didn't I see the black hair and blotch on many of them there today?
God.
Maggie could never keep a servant girl in the house, you know.
Is that a fact?
Oh, I'm serious. There's no stallion the equal of the man. If you pardon me saying so, missus.
God knows he left a mighty hard woman behind him.
She wasn't always that way. 'Twas the world that hardened her. I remember her a handsome girl. She had no love for the man. He was a good catch at the time.
She's no sack of oats now.
Oh, you're right about that. She's well preserved, all right, God bless her.
Well, what made him turn so from a fine woman like that?
What should missus what turns them all? I have known upright and straight men, sober and sane men, and in the end they were all betrayed by that rogue of a dickie, if you pardon the expression, ma'am.
Oh, 'tis a hard plight for an honest man.
Did he know what he was doing, or didn't he?
Ah, he knew.
Right you are. Where does that leave us?
As wise as ever. I often say to myself that why do people take so long to kiss goodbye this goddamn world of pains and aches and puking?
Oh, sure. Robbery, hypocrisy, and murder from one day to the other.
Life is the grimmest loan of all, my friend. The interest is too high in the end.
'Tis the cross of man is life.
You'll be happy to be leaving it so.
Listen to me now!
Yes?
Would you by any notion know where Madge Gibbons is buried?
Which Madge Gibbons would that be? Would it be the Madge Gibbons that was tackled to Donald Summers, or Madge Gibbons, housekeeper to Canon McIntosh the Protestant?
It was the Canon's housekeeper.
Madge Gibbons, housekeeper to the Canon McIntosh. Well, do you see down the right-hand side of the graveyard, there's a wild rose bush, and there's a tall cypress tree alongside of it. Madge Gibbons is wedged between the two.
Oh. We promised a prayer first for the man they just put under. We fancy he won't be getting many.
Well, I do be here most days. You can count on one hand the amount of people who come in here to pray. And that man who's gone down there today has no more prayers to receive. And the widow, by the look of her, won't be thinking of the next world till she goes into it.
So long.
Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. Limestone, 6 feet by 3 feet by 3 inches. It's a fine block of stone. It'll be there when he's forgotten. It'll be there when he's rotten. And may the Lord have mercy on the poor man's immortal soul.
Oh, I'm dying to hear all.
Wish I could be so cheerful.
I suppose she's going to tell us now.
But she can't keep us waiting much longer.
You can compose yourselves a while, but I'm going to advise you all to be ready for changes. No.
Is it fair to ask if there's a will?
Keep your shirt on. You'll know all in a minute. Morris. Sit down. Did you pay the workmen?
You're paid.
Cash all there?
Yes.
And all the receipts?
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
I trust no
Oh,
one.
do you mean I'm being dishonest?
I never met anyone who admitted to being dishonest, so I wouldn't know about those things. Now, let you all listen carefully to what I have to say, for it affects all of you. You asked just now, Mick, if there was a will. Well, there wasn't.
Impossible.
There was no will.
But there has to be a will. He always promised me.
Promised you what?
Oh, nothing.
More than me, maybe?
I didn't say that.
Right. Well, there being no will, as I say, that puts me in charge, which is only as it should be.
If there's no will, how can it all be yours? We're all entitled to our share.
There's no will because a year ago your father signed over the place to me.
What?
I don't believe you.
Don't you? Ring up the solicitor and see what he has to say.
You're bluffing.
The phone is in the shop. Lift it. You won't believe me, you'll believe Darcy.
How can my father do such a thing like this?
Do I tell lies? Do I? Well, come on, you've known me long enough and you're quick enough to criticise. Do I tell lies?
No.
Right. This time last year, your father and I had a little chat and he agreed to sign everything over to me. He had good reason to.
Oh, did you blackmail him?
You'll learn to bite that tongue of yours, miss, when I have a minute to deal with you, and that might be sooner than you think.
I asked you a question.
And you'll get an answer. I got no more than my rights. I brought a £1,000 fortune when I came here, and I've slaved here for 25 years. I don't think anyone here will deny that, unless you like to put your spoke in.
I've got nothing more to say.
Good.
All right, tell us how much you left anyway.
Death duties. That's what he left. Enough to keep me struggling for years to come.
And what are we going to get out of it?
You get nothing out of it, naturally. Not yet, anyway. You'll have a roof over your heads, you'll have good food, and you'll have pocket money.
Pocket money? You're mad if you think I'm going to stay here for pocket money. Pocket money's for kids. If I'm to stay here, I want a share. It was all understood that the farm be divided between myself and Morris.
Understood by whom? It was not understood by me.
You better get it clear, Mother. I'm not going to be a servant boy any longer. The farm is to be divided, and by divided I mean that both has to be fully stocked with cattle, machinery, and working capital, together with dwelling house and outhouses.
Well, obviously you've been talking to someone. You'd never think all that up by yourself.
Well, are you, aren't you?
Am I or aren't I what?
Going to divide the farm.
I'll have to see.
You'll see, right now, I'm not going to be fobbed off any more promises.
Mick, I'm in no position to guarantee anything to anybody.
In that case, you can look for someone else to run the farm. I'm resigning. Are you coming, Morris? I'm going, Mother.
Well, you know how to turn the knob on the door, boy.
Are you coming, Morris?
Morris, you were spoken to.
Are you coming, Morris, for the last time?
He won't go. He hasn't got the guts of a louse.
Morris!
I'm saying nothing. I've had enough squabbling for one day.
True to form.
I need money, not much, and permission to stay the night. Can't go anywhere till morning.
Yes, a good night's sleep is important.
Damn you!
Off to bed now like a good little boy.
My father is a lucky man to be free of you. I'm starting to have sympathy for him now.
He'll be back. He knows where his rations come from. Have you anything to say, Morris?
Yeah, I have.
No time like the present. Out with it.
I want to get married.
Oh, you do?
I do.
And do I know the lady of your choice?
I know her. She's Mary Madden from Knockliney.
Dan Madden's daughter.
Yeah.
Sit down, boy. How many cows has Dan Madden? 15 or 16, is it?
Yeah.
And 9 or 10 other children to be provided for?
Yes. You have your facts.
Where is it you expect to live?
Sure, here, of course. Where else would I go?
Where else, indeed?
So it's all right then.
You know how much money I had when I came as mistress to this house?
You told us £1,000.
And how much has this madam won?
She hasn't anything.
And you expect me to hand over the reins after my 25 years to a slip of a girl without a brown penny in her pocket?
No, that's not.
Well, what do you expect?
Right. We could live here with you.
Mm-hmm.
A temporary thing. And I'll work on the wage on the farm for my wages. Until
Until?
well,
Until I kick the bucket, is that it?
No, look, it's not it. I just want to get married, man. There's nothing exorbitant about that.
Well, you can tell her to find a fortune of £1,500 and I'll consider her proposal.
She hasn't that kind of money, and neither do I.
Well, go on and marry for love then.
I have no money.
But if you have love, you don't need money.
So you say.
Your father was 35 when he married, you're only 24. And there were people who considered him young at 35.
Almighty mother, I'm in love with the girl. She's a good girl. You'd like her.
I'd like her a lot better if she had £1,500.
What am I supposed to do?
Forget it for the present is my advice. We'll consider it some other time.
Oh, and will you consider it some other time?
I'll go.
Stay where you are.
Come here. Do you believe her?
Oh, I believe her. If Mary Madden can't put down the cash, our mother won't let her darken that door.
No, I mean about the will.
Sure, she said it would be easy to catch her out. Oh, I believe her all right. You know, she told me once that the worst thing about telling a lie isn't that it's a sin, but that it's such a waste of time trying to wriggle out of it once you're found out.
Father promised me the farm.
Mick said it was to be divided.
It was promised to me.
Is that why you sang up? When Mick asked you to go away with him earlier, so you could have all this farm to yourself.
Look, Mick can make up his own mind, all right? It's nothing to do with me.
He's our brother. You're just...
Listen, we've had enough fighting for one day. I think it's best if we just mind our own affairs.
Well, you're a little cool one, aren't you? But you haven't a hope in hell in getting married. Unless our mother can jingle out the March of the Maddens 1,500...
Shag off! There'll be a quick stop to your gallop, now the old fella's dead. A year ago, you had everything your own way. The rest of us mightn't have been around for all he cared.
Okay, calm down the pair of you. Because this is getting us no place.
And where's there to get? Morris, get me a fag there, will you?
Get your own feckin' fag. Why in the name of Christ did he have to sign everything over to her?
A year ago. And he never let on.
A year ago. Moll Saunders?
What about him?
Do you remember the time she caught him with Moll?
No. I don't believe our father had anything to do with Moll Saunders.
Look, you remember. That time, our beloved mother went to see that doctor in Dublin. She left here in a hired car at about 8 o'clock one night. She used to stay above. Ye two and Mick had gone into town to a dance. I went to bed early that night. I was dying from the night before.
I remember, yeah.
Well, she didn't go to Dublin at all. She got the driver to turn back after dark and came straight back here. If I'd known, well, I would have taken my father off.
So, you knew that he was with Moll Saunders?
Well, I knew she called over to see him after I went to bed, but I knew nothing else. It could have been for anything. Could have been for a loan of money. You know he couldn't say no. And besides, her husband in England wasn't sending her anything.
You know, you would swear black and white to save him.
Or I wouldn't want it about
Look, shut up, Gert. Go on with the story.
Well, Moll arrived here about 10 o'clock. They spoke in whispers, but I knew who it was. About 20 minutes after Moll's arrival, I heard someone tiptoeing upstairs, past my door, and upstairs to my father's room.
Me mother.
I nearly dropped dead. I opened the door and peeked out and saw the back of her outside Dad's door. But sure, there was nothing I could do. She burst through the door and caught them both at it, right-handed.
Are you sure?
Look, I saw Moll Saunders running down the stairs in her plant and my mother running after. Is that good enough for you?
You know, he was nothing but an animal.
Oh, shut up. You know, I didn't blame him.
Jesus, you're as bad as he was.
Ah, for the love of God. She didn't sleep with him for years. And when she did, well, I doubt she was any good to him.
Here now. I'm not going to let you talk like that.
Or grow up. You know, I was with him once at Clunara races. He was in the bar, swapping yarns with his crowd of cronies. And I remembered to say to me that he was married to his wife for 18 years. And never once did he see his wife. Me.
Oh, dear
I'm-
mother of God.
No, stop that. That's terrible talk. Morris, stop her. You can't be talking like that.
You know what? The trouble with you is, you never tried to understand my father. All the fellas in the bar that night had the same thing to say. Their wives were too damn good. They thought it was a sacrilege to fornicate with their own husbands.
Well, I had given up on you long ago, but I never dreamt a girl of your upbringing could even think like that, let alone talk like it. You're past understanding.
Well, maybe I am, but at least I'm not deaf and blind to what's happening around me like the two of you are.
I'm not listening to any more of this.
Or suit yourself so.
Is that what led to him signing everything over to her?
Of course it was. I remember him to go on an awful booze after that again.
I remember that. And I remember Darcy called and went upstairs with Byrne and my mother.
See, that's it. Byrne was the witness. Oh, look, Morris. She has us where she wants us now. Here she comes.
Melly Reardon at the door. She'd pray for the deceased and say the stations, which would take her a lot less time than she kept me at the door. Well, there's no need to ask what you were talking about, but I can tell you your conversation was as big a waste of time as mine was with Nellie.
Look, man, I'll go upstairs and see if I can talk some sense into Mick.
Yes, do that.
And you'll consider what we talked about another time.
Trust me, Morris, for years before he died, your father drank and spent most of what we made here.
Terrible.
Terrible. Now, we'll work hard now and we'll get the place going again. Now, go along now. God is good.
You haven't got an earthly notion of letting him get married. Why don't you tell him the truth?
You'll get over it. Besides, he's a good worker and help is hard to get. There's plenty of time for him to marry.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're a hard case.
How dare you take the holy name in my presence?
Oh, it was from you I picked it up.
I'll let that ball over the bar for the moment. I'll tell you about the arrangements I have for you shortly. Might drive some of the steam out of your engine.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, believe me, you'll be sorry you said that.
Oh, free country, you know.
Shut up, you ripper, I'll strike you. Gert, you are to leave the kitchen and come into the shop with me, unless you want to get married too.
No, I'd see more of Crawford's traveller in the shop, wouldn't I?
You like him.
He's a lamb.
He's a good-looking scoundrel, all right. You can chat away to him in the shop, but otherwise you'd have nothing to do with him. Do you hear me?
I hear, Mother.
Good.
Well, I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Well, if Gert is going to the shop and myself and yourself are already in the shop, who's to do the kitchen?
Can't you compose yourself? Haven't I come into that? You think I make these arrangements on the spur of the moment?
Well, we don't want three of us in the shop.
I couldn't agree more, so I've decided that you are to do the kitchen.
Oh, not a hope.
You'll do the kitchen. Gert deserves a turn in the shop.
I won't do the kitchen.
I have no intention of making a game out of it. We're both too old for this I will and I won't business. From tomorrow morning, you will start work in the kitchen or I'll send you out of this house a pauper. How would you like that?
Well, I could always make a living.
I believe you could.
Oh, now we're getting the innuendos. Would you like to tender in addition to that implication?
Will you take it now or will you wait till you get it? Well, I must say you weren't on. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
A native of your pounds is my due.
Get off that money!
Don't leave, Mick. Don't give in to her. It's all that she wants.
How much is in here? 100, 120?
Don't touch that money!
Get back, I'll give you a belt! I swear to God I will.
There's about £97 in cash.
If you don't put back that money this instant, you'll never darken the door of this house again.
Don't worry, you hear no more from me.
I mean it, Mick.
And I mean it.
Just remember, Mick, wherever you go, you won't do better than home.
I need a loan of your car to take me to the station. You can collect it in the morning.
Okay, the keys are in it. Good luck.
Goodbye, Katie. Goodbye, Gert.
Is he gone for good?
Never mind him for the present. Now you see the trouble my family is causing me. You can forget about your car as well if its kitchen doesn't suit you.
It's my car.
Who pays the tax and insurance and who buys the petrol? It's the property of the house.
You wouldn't touch my car.
My car if you don't go in the kitchen. Kitchen will do you good. I have big plans for you.
Get one thing into your mind now, Mother. You are not going to dominate me.
Of course, you know what you can do, don't you? You can blow anytime you like. You're not going to do as you're told. I don't want you around.
All right. I call your bluff. I'll start in the kitchen tomorrow morning.
Stay where you are. I haven't finished with you yet. Our little conference is only just beginning. You, go out to the kitchen and put a fry up for me. And see that you don't burn the rashes like you did this morning. Move! First things first. Did Johnny Conlon propose to you a year ago?
He did.
Is he still to the good?
He is.
Is he still interested?
He is, but I'm not.
Why didn't you tell me the time he proposed?
It wasn't important. I turned him down. He's not my type.
You'll marry him? And you'll marry him within the next 3 months, which is more.
You're a howl.
Laugh while you can.
Oh, I laughed before this, you know.
You're 22 years of age and you haven't a penny to your name without my say-so. You'll marry him.
I told you before. He's not my type.
What is your type, Katie?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I think you do, Katie.
Oh, this is worse than a courtroom.
The night of the creamery social, you went to the dance with Gert.
Yeah, and so did 300 or 400 other girls.
We'll forget about those. It's you and Gert that concern me. You sat with Gert throughout the dinner, but then after the dinner you went to the public bar.
And if you already know this, Mother, why do you need to ask me?
Fucking Kate, Jesus! Did you see this brush?
I do.
Sure as your father's in his grave tonight, I'll break this brush across your back if you give me one more single word of back chat.
Yes, Mother.
Now, you went to the public bar.
Yes, Mother.
With whom did you go, Katie?
Gert told you.
Gert did not tell me. Gert doesn't know. With whom did you go to the bar?
Leave me alone, can't you? I'm all torn up after the funeral today, and I just can't take any more of this.
Tell me the name of the man who was with you.
What man?
His name!
Toss. Toss Melch.
So it was Toss Melch.
Yes.
Was his wife with him?
No.
When did you first meet him?
Last year. At another social.
So you've known him a year.
Yes.
And before that night, how many times did you meet him?
4, maybe 5 times.
That night in the bar, how many drinks had you?
Just a few. Maybe 2 or 3. I forget exactly.
You had 6 halves of gin. Now, at 11:30, this married man booked a room in the hotel and he went upstairs immediately. When he left, what did you do?
Well, I had a dance or two.
And after that?
I went upstairs to the ladies' cloakroom.
But there is a ladies' cloakroom downstairs.
It was crowded, mobbed. I tried a few times, but it was next to impossible.
And how long were you in the upstairs ladies' cloakroom?
It's before 12 when I came down. I'm sure of that.
No, it wasn't. It was 5 minutes to 2. Just before the social ended.
And whatever you heard, it's a lie. I swear to you, it's a lie.
It's not a lie. You went upstairs at 11:45 and you didn't come down till 5 minutes to 2. What were you doing upstairs for nearly 2¼ hours?
Nothing! I was doing nothing!
Katie, you were seen. 2 days after that night, I received an anonymous letter from someone who signed themselves a friend. Tell me what you were doing in that room for nearly 2¼ hours.
Nothing! I was doing nothing, Mother!
You went into the room booked by Melch and you stayed there with him for nearly 2¼ hours. What were you doing? Have I raised a whore? Have I raised a whore? Have I? Tell me what you were doing or I'll beat you so your own sister won't know you!
He's committing suicide.
I can't hear you. Louder!
He's committing suicide.
the first time.
No, I couldn't help myself.
Get up! Get up, will ya? And act like a woman!
Are you sure you won't beat me?
No, I won't beat you. I was mistaken about you. I thought you were more brazen, more of a woman. You're still a child. Sit.
What are you going to do with me?
Why should I do anything with you when you've already disgraced yourself?
Well, will I be left stay here?
You will. Under certain conditions.
I agree, Mother.
Since he proposed, has Johnny Conlon been in touch with you at all?
He's tried. He salutes always, and well, he's written a few times.
Write back to him. Tell him you would like, if he called, that you're down and out after the death of your father, and whatever else occurs to you. Bring me the letter before you put it in the envelope. If we play our cards right, he may propose again. Tell him from me, thanks for his mass card, that I appreciate the thought. Will you tell him that, Katie?
Yes, Mother.
Oh, before I forget, go down to the station in the morning and collect your car.
You going somewhere?
No, I'm not going anywhere. It's just occurred to me that it's about time I learned how to drive.
Pound of butter, bread, washing soap, toilet soap, sugar, tea, bacon, tobacco. Did I give you the tobacco?
You did, I have it here in my pocket.
Okay.
Are you alright, Gert?
I'm fine, thanks.
Are you sure?
Thanks, I can handle it.
I hope so.
Will you keep an eye here for a minute? I just need to check these prices with my mother.
Fire away, but don't take all day. I got work to do.
I won't.
And Gert, tell your mother I was asking for her.
I will. Won't be a jiffy.
Morning.
Not a bad morning.
Not bad. It's nice out, seems to be clearing.
Are you with Crawford's?
I am. I had no idea it was so well known.
How are things around the country?
Things could be better, but then again, they were often worse. Is anyone around?
Gert's gone inside to check some prices with the mother. She'll be out in a minute. You must meet all kinds in your travels.
All kinds, believe you me, my friend, all kinds.
I can imagine.
I'd be amazed.
Travelling is a job I wouldn't like.
Well, sure, you never know till you've tried.
I dare say that's true.
So Gert in the shop now?
The last couple of months since the father died.
Oh, he went quick, didn't he?
Sudden to have.
Sudden is the best way.
Well, so they say.
How's the missus since Paul P died?
Fair enough, well, man, Joe.
And the eldest girl, Katie, where's she?
Married.
You're not serious.
Oh, fortnight ago. Big farmer up the road.
That knows it's hard to believe.
Ah, it was a surprise, alright.
Thought she'd have knocked out a few more barrels out of the world before she dropped anchor. She was a lively girl.
Lively. He's a nice fella. Older than her, of course, but about time he'd be getting his gun oil, so to say. I fancy, though, you'd be a better man to take a shot at the target like Katie.
How do you know I didn't score a few bullseyes there before this?
Now, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Not one bit, my friend. Here's Gert.
Penny Heelan, how are you?
Couldn't be better, thanks be to God. How's yourself?
Fine, fine. I'll be with you in a minute. I just need to take care of Mr. Byrne. The whole lot comes to £2 one.
There you are. Did you tell her?
Who?
Your mother.
I did.
And what did she say?
She laughed.
What kind of laugh is it?
What do you mean?
Well, was it a short laugh? Or a long laugh? Or a wicked laugh? Or a gay laugh?
Well, she seemed to enjoy it.
Good, very good.
How's business, Gert?
Not bad. She has a big order for you.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear.
He's a right charmer, Mr. Byrne. He gets orders everywhere.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
It's the quality of the goods, not me, Mr. Byrne.
Come off it. Everyone knows he's a ladies' man. They say he's got more sex appeal than any other traveller going.
Jeez, that's no bad mark against him. I could do with a bit of that myself.
When are you going to ask me out, Teddy Heelan?
You want your mother to horse with me?
Oh, she lets me out now. I can go wherever I like, and with whom. She knows I'm sensible.
If you're serious, I'll take you out one of these evenings.
Oh, I'm serious. It was always Katie he noticed before Mr. Byrne. He used to call me the baby.
She's no baby now, my friend, but by God, she's got the equipment to play it, but
Mr. Byrne!
I won't disagree with you there.
Mr. Byrne, didn't I hear you say that you'd work to do?
I get the message. I won't stand in the way of romance. But I'll tell you this much for your own good. Don't be in a hurry to say anything to Maggie. She'll be slower than a parish priest to give a blessing to what doesn't suit her.
Don't mind him. He's nice, really.
Are you serious about my taking you out?
I am.
I'd have asked you long before this, but I didn't want to cross your mother.
Are you afraid of her too?
Being afraid of her has nothing to do with it. She's one of my best customers, and I wouldn't want to fall out with her. In my line of business, you have to be cautious. What time do you want me to call tonight?
Tonight? What time would suit you?
After the post goes out, I'm free. I can call any time after that.
7:30 be okay?
I'll be here. Your mother won't mind.
No. No, she likes you. In fact, she said so. She says that you're a bit of a playboy and that you'd want watching. But she does like you.
Where do you want to go?
I don't mind.
We can decide that when I call.
Look, you won't get fresh with me now. I'm not that type of girl, and you just better know in time.
I know you're not. That's why I'm so keen to take you out.
The novelty, I suppose.
No. I think about you in a very special way. I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt you.
I believe you. Stop it, you idiot! Do you want someone to walk in?
I'm no saint, but I suppose you know that.
Yeah, I've heard things.
You don't need to worry. I wouldn't want to hurt a hair of your head. I just want to be near you, to hear you talking, laughing, whispering.
Whispering?
Yes, whispering. Something tells me you're a terrific whisperer. And if there's one thing I love, it's to hear a young girl whispering. Whisper something to me now.
What'll I whisper to you?
Anything you like.
All right.
I'm shocked. I'm scandalized. How could you say such a thing?
But all I said was it's a nice day.
But it isn't just a nice day. It's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. Or do you know the day that we have of it?
I do. It's Tuesday.
No. Today is the day that Gertie Palpin made her first date with Teddy Heelan. Now, whisper something nice to me.
Such as?
Such as... You like me?
I like you.
And I like you too. Those eyes are the eyes of a woman in love. I know how to give you away. I don't suppose you'd be inclined to whisper, I love you.
It's a bit early for that, isn't it?
I suppose so. But when the day comes that you say that, I'll be a very happy fella.
Okay, be sure and be here at 7:30.
Is that an order?
It is.
Well, I can tell you, Miss Palpin, it's the most valuable order I've received since I became a commercial traveller. I suppose you intend to reform me?
Well, seeing as you ask, it's only fair to tell you that it's the highest notion in my head. Do you mind?
I'm going to enjoy it.
It's not going to be easy, you know.
Now give us a kiss and I'll give you a free pair of garters.
Stop it, you're terrible.
You don't know what I forgot.
We don't.
Raisins. Seedless ones. Did you get them in? You didn't have them the last time I was here. Are they seedless?
As far as I know,
How much?
2 shillings.
Aren't they awfully cheap now, given the long journey they take?
Bit nosy, isn't he?
He's the local encyclopedia. I'd swear he's a notion of my mother.
Go on.
Yeah. I'd better call her.
Yes, better. I've got a few orders to make before the post goes out. I don't want to be late.
Mother! Mother? Crawford's Traveller's here.
She'll make me sound like a stranger.
You're anything but.
How is your mother, by the way?
Never better. She drives now, you know.
Oh, when did she learn?
Katie taught her, before she got married.
Your man told me about Katie. I must say I was surprised.
Oh, the wild ones always settle quick, once they make up their minds.
Is she happy?
She seems to be. He's very wealthy, you know. I wouldn't like him. He asked me the first time, after Katie turned him down.
I wouldn't have taken no for an answer.
How do you know the answer would have been no, when you never asked?
Mrs. Palpy.
Hello, Mr. Heelan.
So Katie got married?
She did indeed. We would have invited you to the wedding, but we thought with it being so soon after the funeral, we'd keep it strictly family.
Of course.
You're looking well.
I must say, Mrs. Palpin, I've never seen you looking better, and that isn't just sales talk.
Do you hear that, Gert? He's looking for an order already.
Seriously, Mrs. Palpin, I appreciate the order straight away. I've I'm a little bit behind schedule.
But it's all made out for you together with your check.
Good.
Like a good girl, will you go back to the kitchen and keep an eye on the dinner for me?
See you, Teddy.
Here you are, Teddy. It's a wonder some nice girl hasn't scooped you up before this.
Ah, the right one didn't come my way yet.
Oh, you had a grand chat with Gert before I came out.
Yes, Gert's a very nice girl.
She's young, Teddy.
She's a woman, Mrs. Palpin. Your receipt.
Call me Maggie. We've known each other a long time. The size of the order you've just received should show you what we think of you around here. I regard you as a friend of the family, and that's why I'm asking you to stay away from Gert.
Ah, now you make things awkward for me.
I don't think we know each other. At least I know a good deal about you. I know, for instance, that you're no cock virgin with innocent dreams of romance.
Like the Lord don't mince words.
I don't believe in mincing words.
Good. We can be candid then. But how candid is the question?
Be as open as you like, that's the way I like it.
The first part of what you said is true, but you're wrong about the second part. I'll be honest with you and tell you that I've asked Gert out this evening, and she's willing, and I'm glad, very glad, because I genuinely like her. What's more, I could easily fall in love with Gert.
Well, you're a good-looking fellow. No doubt she finds you attractive. I honestly don't blame her.
Thank you.
No, you really are attractive. And I can see how easy it would be for any woman to fall in love with you. She's too young for you. You're too assured and too experienced for my Gert. You say you have honourable intentions. Does this mean you intend to marry her one day?
Marry? To be honest with you, I hadn't thought about marriage, but with a girl like Gert, it would have to be marriage, wouldn't it?
You mean she wouldn't allow you into bed with her unless you married her?
I wish you wouldn't put it like that, but I suppose you're right.
Let's be honest. Do you desperately want to go to bed with her?
Well, that wouldn't be unnatural if I loved her.
And it boils down to the same thing, doesn't it?
It does not. It's more than sex. You want me to be honest with you? I will. I fancied other women. I wanted to make love to them, and I often did. As far as sex is concerned, I've never been satisfied. I don't mean to say I've been frustrated, but something's been missing.
And you think the thing that has been missing is a nice girl like Gert?
Well, yes.
So that's what you think of all the women you slept with? They gave you the lot and all you can say is that there was something missing.
You make it sound different than it really is.
Maybe it's your conscience that's at you.
That's not it exactly.
Tell me what it is exactly.
Are you blaming me for my past mistakes?
I'm not. And you know I'm not.
You don't usually let a woman speak to me this way.
It seems to me that for all your women, you're not very happy.
Meet a woman, make love to her, and gone the next day. What does it all add up to? I used to tell myself that each time would be the last time, but I was tempted. Maybe this time is the right one.
Gert?
Maybe not. Oh, she's a beauty, all right, but perhaps I need someone more mature.
Someone with experience.
Yes, it's a bit of a game sometimes.
Romance is for young ones, Teddy. I had my fair share of it and then I married the wrong man. For 10 years he didn't sleep with me. In the end I didn't want him, but it was a strange and terrible way for a healthy woman to live. I wouldn't tell you all this, but I feel we understand each other.
10 years? That's a long time.
Sometimes it didn't matter.
And other times, I hate to think of anyone being unhappy. There's no reason for it now, you're free.
Oh, no one knows that better than me.
You can do what you want now, do what you like. Who's to stop you?
No one.
God knows I'm not giving you advice. I've been in too many scrapes before, and there were times I did things I was sorry for afterwards.
Sure, that's the way life is. It's how men are. I know.
Of course you know. There aren't many women with your understanding and honesty, Maggie. You won't be offended if I say this. Sometimes a man and a woman, they have the same need, the same longing. It can happen quickly. They don't need any romantic games. They know. Sometimes a man can see a woman and want her more than anyone ever before. He wonders if she feels the same way.
Oh, she might if she thought the same about him.
How would he know?
Oh, that would be for him to find out.
Oh, you're a remarkable woman. I'd like to really understand you.
Oh, you will.
All the times I've come in here and talked to you, and I never really knew you until now. That sounds like sales talk, I know, but I mean it. I don't think I felt this way about any woman ever before. I don't know what it is about you, but for once, I'm not sure of myself.
Oh, but I want you to be yourself, Teddy.
When can I see her? Alone, I mean.
When do you want to see me?
The sooner the better. Tonight.
Tonight, then?
Tonight.
What time?
Oh, whatever time suits you.
9 o'clock. I'll have everything done by then.
Oh, it's such a long way away.
Oh, it'll be worth waiting for. Go now.
Oh, good God, what about Gert?
Oh, never mind, girl.
Perhaps I should tell her we're breaking our date.
Frances don't, lass. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. You better go now and finish off your calls. I don't want you to be late.
Oh, I won't be late. Till tonight, then.
Till tonight. Till tonight.
Good evening.
I was passion.
So I saw.
I came in.
Can I help you with something?
Herself.
My mother.
Who else?
Right. Get it for you now. Ma! Mr. Byrne is down here to see you. All right. She'll down with you in a minute now. Just getting a couple of scoops of meal here for a week, yo. We're closing now shortly.
How have things been in the shop the past while?
It could be better.
And how about your end, the farm?
It could be worse.
That's something in these hard times.
Hard times is right, Mr. Burke. According to my mother, anyway.
Well, she knows best.
Oh, none better, according to herself.
She's like hard medicine, Mouse. Difficult to take at times, but will do you good in the long run.
And how long do you mind telling me is the long run?
You're talking about the young man one, aren't you? She's a nice little girl. I don't see the two of you some evenings going down to Kelby's Wood.
Even sometimes you see too much.
Could be. I've more time on my hands these days. What with the style of the headstone getting smaller. I do sit on the graveyard wall some evenings, thinking about the generations that have passed, the ones we have, and taking a shot at where the future ones might be coming from.
Well, 'tis easy for you to make jokes. But if you were in my shoes, you'd be wondering if there was ever going to be a future generation at all.
If I were in your shoes, Morris, I'd learn how to tie them myself and not have the mother always doing it for you.
Well, you don't know my mother, Mr. Byrne.
I'm not talking about your mother, Mac. I'm talking about you.
Morris, did you mark that meal on a slip of paper and put it in the till?
I did, yeah. Do you want it signed for by the Minister for Agriculture?
If it meant keeping my books straight for the taxman, I would. Well, Byrne.
Good evening, Maggie.
Good evening to you too. Was it you I saw walking down up and outside the door earlier?
Could be.
What's the matter with you now?
I won't put a tooth in it. I've come to put me cards on the table.
You'll have to postpone the game, Byrne. I'm otherwise engaged as of now.
I won't keep you more than 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. Fire away.
God, now that I have me chance, I don't know where to begin.
Well, for a beginning, I may tell you that you're doing an awful lot of arsing around here lately.
No, I won't deny it. I'm around more than I should.
I've seen you these last few weeks like a gander that would badly want to gettle a goose.
I suppose that's one way of putting it, all right.
Only the other day, I was saying to myself, Byrne is looking a bit hot and bothered, and says I, Byrne is behaving more like a jackdaw than a monumental sculptor.
All right, now, you've had your say. It's my turn. I have £4,000 in the bank.
I'm not surprised the prices you charge for headstones.
I'm a man of sober habits, although I take a drink if the occasion calls for it, and I've no objection to a woman taking a drink either. I'm a good worker, and there's wide demand for my work. I'm a good Catholic and does the 9 Fridays regular, and I've never missed Mass in my life. And there isn't a year where I haven't earned enough money that would keep a family in comfort. And those that know would consider me to be the finest monumental sculptor around.
You're a monumental idiot if you ask me.
Well, will you or won't you?
Will I or won't I what?
Marry me.
Marry you?
Yes.
Were you ever at the zoo, Byrne?
I was. It was the year of the Eucharistic Congress in 1932. I was up in Dublin. I was a fine young man. What's the zoo got to do with it?
Well, if you were at the zoo, then you know what a baboon is.
I dare say I do.
Well, good for you, Byrne, good for you. Because I would sooner be buckled to a baboon than be buckled to you.
You're an ignorant woman. A baboon would suit you all right. The bother is, Maggie, that no self-respecting mother of a monkey will consent to a son of hers marrying you.
Ah, you gave me my answer, Byrne. I'll hand it to you.
Die, Maggie, and I'll give you a Celtic cross for nothing. Good night to you, son.
What was that about?
Believe it or not, Teddy Heelan, I've just had a proposal of marriage.
And did you say yes?
Oh, I've had my fair quota of marriage, thank you.
Where's Gert?
She's gone to see Katie.
Good. Was she disappointed when I didn't show up?
Oh, very. Wait while I lock the door. Anyone could walk in. Oh, I like a man who's punctual.
I thought about you all day. I made several mistakes when I was topping up my returns at the hotel. And that's something I never do. I missed you.
Oh, you're so uncomplicated.
let's not stay down here. Let's go upstairs.
Oh, what's the rush? Sure, we have all night. Come here.
Mother. Was that the reason that you sent me with the groceries to Katie's? Do you know what she did? She sent me to Katie's 20 minutes ago and told me to hurry back here. That she wanted me for something else. I knew that you played about, but I never knew that you would stoop to do a thing like this.
Ah, girls, I meant it.
Two-faced isn't the word for you, and as for you, Mother.
But aren't you forgetting something?
What?
I'm single now, the same as you.
I hate you.
Any girl with an ounce of sense would thank me. If you had your own way, you'd make a complete wreck of your life.
And is it how you think it's not wrecked now?
Small scratch is all you got. It's going to be healed in a week at your age.
You're welcome to him. You're a rotten pair. And you deserve each other.
You shouldn't have done that.
You think I like doing it?
Christ, it was a cruel thing to do.
She'll get over it. And she won't travel the same road I did. You won't get the chance to treat her like the dirt under your feet. The man I married behaved exactly the same way that you're behaving now. Everyone told me he'd change when he got married, but he didn't change. He got worse.
You made a fool out of me.
Oh, you did that to yourself. You think every woman's dying to fall into your arms.
You shame me. No matter what I am or what I was, no one has the right to do that to another human being.
Don't you give me that tripe about human beings, because that's the biggest lie of all. If a man or woman hasn't self-respect, they have nothing. You should know that, because you are nothing. You have nothing. God pity you, you never will. £6, 1 and 7p.
Okay, I'll pay you now, so. Himself will call over for the stuff tonight. And you knock off 1 and 7p anyways?
I'll knock off nothing. I'm running a shop, not a relieving office.
Huh. And what are you going to do with all this money you have?
I have no money.
Stop.
I have no money, but I have my health. How would I have money with supermarkets sprouting up like daisies?
Oh, do you know what? There's no one your match.
You know, if I was looking at that baby from here till doomsday, I couldn't make out who he takes after.
Well, there's no telling at that age. Sometimes he looks like his father and, well, other times he looks like his mother.
I happen to know the mother, and there's no likeness. Maybe he is like his father. I wouldn't know about that, of course.
Oh, God almighty, do you know what? You're a terrible woman.
Katie, a woman would want the character of St. Bridget in this country to get away with a 7 months birth.
Meaning what?
Meaning, you're no St. Bridget. What are you feeding the child?
Pasteurized, of course.
There's no nature in children since women stopped the breastfeeding. Women these days don't seem to know what tits are for. In my day, every child was fed from the breast.
Well, if you were fed from the breast, mother mine, it didn't give you much nature, did it?
This tongue of yours will get you into trouble one of these days. It's a wonder your husband doesn't take a shtick to you.
Yeah, and if he did, I'd cripple him with the poker.
I don't doubt you.
Have you heard from Gert since she left?
Not a word.
Morris had a letter from her.
Well, if he did, he never said to me.
Well, she told him to tell you nothing.
What's she at over there?
She's doing nursing. She's in a flat with Mick.
Nursing. See now, wasn't I for her good?
Whatever happened the night she ran away?
It was the beginning of her education. I gave her the matriculation, you might say. It was the best bit of schooling she's ever likely to get.
Well, she left in a terrible hurry. Maybe it was a bit too severe.
Nothing is too severe for what she'll meet in this world.
Have you any notion of letting Morris get married?
To the Madden one, is it?
Well, who else?
The day she lobs up £1,500 on this counter, I'll be the first woman to dance at her wedding.
Well, Mary Madden is a nice girl, and Morris has his heart set in her.
Pass that information along to the bank manager and see how much you'll get for it.
I'm telling you that at this in time, ma'am. Morris won't wait much longer. He's been pushed as far as he'll go.
Well, well, Vern. I thought we'd never again see you.
I'm like one of me monuments, Maggie. Take more than a gale of wind to knock it down. Katie, how are you?
I'm good, Mr. Byrne, and yourself?
Carrying the day as best I can, Katie. Throws up a half quarter of tobacco there. Is this the garsoon?
It is.
Bless the child. He's like you, Katie.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Byrne. Have you any notion of getting a few girls to help you?
My experience of girls is that they only come in the way.
Oh, very funny, but you're never going to handle all this work on your own.
Meaning, of course, that I should let the madam one in.
Well, she's a top and a worker, and she's a marvellous milker.
Well, if she is, she won't milk my cows. In the honour of God, Byrne, give the child a pound or two. Do you see him with his lousy half-crown giving it to the child?
Silver is the done thing.
That's your case. Show me up a fiver and I'll change it into silver for you.
You're very free with other people's money. I bet you weren't so liberal with the child yourself.
Good for you, Mr. Byrne.
God bless all here.
Oh, for the love of God.
You give me a pound of sugar there, please, missus.
Shut up and get your sugar where you get your tea. No profit on sugar. Here's your tobacco, Byrne.
Look at that small child. Well.
Oh, is it a boy or is it a girl?
That's no way to talk to those old people. You're awful rude.
The same applies to you if you don't like the situation here.
God bless you with a handful of limestone.
Wouldn't I want it to be dealing with the likes of you?
He's a healthy little rascal, Faither. What do you call him?
He's called Michael, after his Uncle Nick.
Oh, and how's Mick doing now?
Oh, he's very well, thank you.
Oh, and Gert. What way is Gert these days?
Oh, she's doing nursing.
Ah, nurse is handy. No family should be without one.
And yourself, missus. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well.
And is there any sign of a tooth?
Oh, you're a shag up out of it and don't be addling us. If you want any more information, buy the papers.
Come along, woman. There's one consolation anyway. He don't a bit look like his grandmother.
Well, he had that one coming to you.
Oh, those two came in for gossip. 'Tis their passport into the public house. Byrne, do you want any more messages?
It's all right, I'm leaving. Katie, take care.
I'll see you later, Mr. Byrne.
And Maggie. That offer I made earlier still stands.
Like the monuments you're always boasting about, Byrne, 'twill be standing forever.
What did he mean by that?
He wants to marry me.
I go on.
He proposed.
Well, if he's any sense, he'd stay single.
Maybe 'tis your own story you're telling.
And what difference does it make to me now? I'm tired. There's damn all I can do about it. Still though, it could be worse. I have my own car. I handle my money. I have independence. It's a lot more than most wives had.
And you have that idiot of a servant boy drooling after you like a stud greyhound. You want to watch yourself with that fellow. He wouldn't be long cooling your radiator.
Well, I can't help it if I get him excited.
You cut that out now. I'm still capable of coming over there and putting you in your place.
You wouldn't dare touch me now, Mother.
I'll touch you if I see the need for it. Be certain of that.
Look, what I really came over this evening was to talk to you about Morris.
Will you ever learn to mind your own business?
He asked me to talk to you, and I made him a promise.
Go on.
Johnny would secure him for the money if you handed over the place to
What
him.
kind of an Egypt do you take me for? I haven't the place a year yet and you want me to hand over already?
But it's not fair on Morris. How could he pay back the money he owes if he's not boss?
It would be less fair to me, Katie. As far as I can see, everybody is anxious to forget about that.
Give us a fag there, will you?
On your own. You have more than I have.
Well,
Oh, look, Morris. I've tried my best.
right, Mother. A year ago you told me to wait. You said God was good. Well, it's turned out to be no good. But maybe that's because you're not giving him much of a chance.
I can't understand why you have this awful rush on you to get married. I look after you well, don't I? If I was dead, you'd need a woman to help you run the place, but there'd be some sense to that, but there's no sense at all to this carry-on.
Look, Matt, you asked me to wait, and I've waited a whole year, and mean no disrespect, but I'd much prefer to have Mary Madden looking after me than you.
Wait just one more year, Morris, and we'll see how the land lies then.
That's what you said to me this time last year. And by the looks of it, that's what you'll say every year, until I'm an old man.
I know I asked you to wait, Morris, now I'm asking you to wait again. Try to have patience.
My patience is at an end.
And for your good. Must I always be telling you this? For your good I am. You'll take my advice, you'll be in no hurry to give up your freedom. It is only now I understand what freedom means.
Ma, I can't wait any longer. If you don't grant me permission, I'll join Mickey Gort in England. 'Tis no bother to get married over there.
Ah, no bother at all. And less bother to live in one dirty room all your life. What kind of a job do you think you'll get? You have no training for anything but the pick and shovel. Here you're the same as the best in the land, and there's something thought of you.
Look, Johnny Conlon said he'd put up the security for the money you want. He'll do it in a minute if you agree.
And then Dan Madden's snotty-nosed daughter takes over here. Nothing doing. It isn't the Colleen Bawn you're playing with.
Look, all I know is I'm in love with Mary Madden, and I want to marry her.
And will you still be in love with her when she's trying to rear 3 or 4 kids in a poke of a flat? When she starts to get fat and irritable and she doesn't have time to dress up or do her hair? When her teeth start getting bad, when her belly starts getting swollen and her nose starts to run?
Just don't say that.
Every one of her mother's seed and breed had snotty noses and big backsides like bullocks before they were 30.
I don't have to listen to this.
When you have 4 or 5 kids and the money starts to run short, you'll remember me, and you'll remember your fine car, and your wardrobe of clothes, and you'll curse Mary Madden for the conniving little vixen she is. What makes you think she sees anything in you? If you were a labouring man, she wouldn't pass you the time of day.
You've known to work as I have. Who's going to look after the land and milk the cows?
I'll sell the cows and I'll let the land. You'll be the one to lose, not me.
I've given my whole life to that farm. Is this what I get in the end?
Morris, I don't want you to leave, but you're going to have to choose between me and Mary Madden.
Mother! He means what he's saying.
So do I.
I'm going now to tidy up the yard. It's the last stroke of work you will ever get out of me.
Jesus Christ, you're hard!
Tis the hardness of concern. Always remember that about me.
But to be fair to you, I know there's some element in truth of what she said to him.
Oh, my first convert.
Oh no, I'm not. Things might be the way you say they are, but they needn't stay like this if you let them stay. Mick is gone, Gert is gone, Morris is going, and he's not coming back!
Have a good look and see if you can see any tears on my face.
But you'll be alone. Completely alone.
Don't be too sure about that. What's to stop me marrying Byrne? He has £4,000 in the bank.
Don't be ridiculous.
There's nothing ridiculous about it. If Byrne won't last forever, and if Byrne goes, there's plenty left for another one after him.
You're not serious.
Go on home, girl. Go on home and cook your husband's supper, will you?
Have you any feeling for Morris at all?
I have it for all of you. That's why I never let any of you have your own way. If I hadn't love, I wouldn't care. Maisie, just one more call, please. Could you get me the Whacker Flynn like a good girl? And for the love of God, don't announce me. I know the whole country is looking for the whore, and I know why. So be nice and sly and hand him over to me without a word. I'll hold on. Hello? Hello, Whacker. I'm fine, thank you, Whacker, but I'd be a lot finer, Whacker, if you paid your bill. Last month you said you'd send it tomorrow, and the month before that you said you'd send it tomorrow. It's here now for 6 months, and as far as I can see, you have no intention whatsoever of paying it. No need. I'll spare you the price of a stamp. I'll be over for it in half an hour. So you better have it ready for me. I've heard all that before, Whacker, and if Mary Josephine is pregnant again, 'tisn't me that's to blame for it. Ah, sure, we all know you can't get blood out of a turnip, but it would be an easy matter for me to drive a cow out of your stall. All right, I'll give you 1 hour, but if you aren't here, I'll be over and I'll note you. Good luck to you too, boy.
Good evening, Mrs. Palpin.
Good evening.
I suppose you don't know me.
How do you know I don't?
We've never met before.
That's true.
I was going to sympathise with you at the graveyard when your husband died, but I didn't want to appear forward.
I'll be with you in a minute.
I suppose I'd better introduce myself.
No, there'll be no need for that. To tell you the God's honest truth, I've been kind of expecting you.
Were you? I suppose I should have called before now. I had it in my head several times to call, but every time I set out to, something always stopped me. I don't know what it was, but something always stopped me.
Sit down there where I can get a good look at you.
I'm really astonished that you should know me, especially since you've never laid eyes on me before.
I had a good look at you when you walked in the shop. Before I had that phone out of my hand, I knew you and I knew your business. This is Mary Madden, I said to myself. And by all the laws, her mother isn't far behind her.
She's outside talking to Morris. They made me come, both of them. I didn't want to, but they made me.
Yara, don't upset yourself, girl. You came as soon as you could. You must be 5, 6 months gone now. And it's the only card you have, poor child. 5 or 6 months, or maybe it's only 4. Ah, come on, Mary, you can tell me.
How did you know?
Anyone would know. 'Tis what I would call the inevitable.
How do you mean, the inevitable?
You're hiding it well, I'll say that for you. But you can't keep it in forever, can you?
No, I can't.
Oh, God help us, child, you can't. 'Tis no fun to be carrying a child without a license.
You're not angry so.
Angry? Why would I be angry? What has it got to do with me? I have no right to be angry with you, Mary.
Oh, so that's the way it is.
That's the way it is exactly. Whenever I see a poorly off slip of a girl now knocking around with a well-off young lad like my Morris, I do be on the lookout for it, so to speak.
I can see I'll get no sympathy from you.
Oh, if sympathy was what you wanted, I'd give you an assload of it, but I'd say you're after more than sympathy.
God, you're clever.
You shouldn't have put all your eggs in one basket. Wouldn't I be in a nice way now if I'd signed over to Morris before this? I'd be a walking tragedy, girl, dependent on the likes of you for my breakfast, supper and tea, and afraid for my sacred life in case I say something or do something to offend your ladyship.
That's not true at all.
God bless you, girl, I've seen the poor innocent bitches pressurised into handing over to daughters-in-law. Mighty Amazons of women who built empires and gave it all away to be treated like dirt and reduced to scutter.
Oh, stop exaggerating.
Wouldn't it be a marvellous victory for you? Think of it! You could be the lady of the manor, you could have the mother to advise you, and you could have your young sisters to help you in the shop, and those wasters of business of yours running around the farm. Is that the way you thought it would be?
I wanted Morris. I want him more than ever now, and what's his by right?
You tried hard all along until you thought of the final number, and then you figured I was no sop on the road, and you'd have to go for a goal if you were gonna have any kind of a chance.
What people say about you is true. I'm going out and I'm going to
Did you
send my...
weigh up the odds well before you decided to surrender yourself? Did you? What were the odds? This house, this farm, and all that goes with it for 1 minute of madness in the back of a motor car. Oh, I know your type well, you brazen bitch, and I'll wipe the floor with you before I'll give you the washing of a plate here.
By Jesus, you won't wipe the floor with me. I can tell you that right now. I'm not one of your children, your softies that can be bullied or frightened.
Oh, I know that well, but I knew it the way you held on to him. You have gumption enough to get what you want, but by the Lord God, you won't get it off me.
Don't be so sure of that.
Don't go too far with me, because as soon as I look at you, I give you a pound weight between the eyes, and there's no one would blame me. I'm entitled to respect under my own roof.
You're right. I shouldn't talk to you like that in your own house.
Haven't I the lucky woman, though,
started off on the wrong foot.
The little start. Matters, my girl. It's the way we finish.
I couldn't agree more! I'm going out and send my mother a tear. She has something she wants to say to you.
I had a right to bring your grandmother too for all the good it'll bring you.
Well, it's like talking to a brick wall. Oh, by Jesus, she hasn't bargained with Hannah.
Leave her, Mrs. Bell, we'll get nowhere with her.
Well, leave it to me. Well, Maggie Polpin, have you decided what you're going to do about my daughter?
She's your daughter, ma'am.
Answer my question, Maggie Polpin. What do you intend to do about my daughter?
As I said before, my good woman, she's your daughter.
And your son is to be the father of her child.
Says look out, not mine.
Well, I'm not leaving here without a settlement. We have a right to that.
You have a right to nothing.
Oh, come down off your high horse there, missus, or you'll be a sorry woman. I'm telling you no, and I'm giving you advance notice. You're up against the wrong crowd in the Maddens. The grass will grow on the road to your shop from the boycotting we'll give you.
You boycott me, or let a member of your family stand outside my door and I'll fix them quick. You'll see this.
Jesus!
Let one of your breed so much as stand within an ass's roar of my shop and you'll be picking buckshot out of their arses for the next 10 years!
We go no further with her. I know her. Should have expected you to have worse luck. We'll be in England in a week. And we'll be married. And I'll never be back here again.
I'm not yielding an inch until she does the right thing by my daughter that I reared well. I didn't rear her for England.
Morris, if you have any sense, you'll have no more to do with this gang. Break with them now, boy, 'cause 'tis the last chance you'll ever have.
What about the child?
Well, let Mrs. Madden here figure that one out.
Oh,
I'm sure it'll be no bother to her.
You!
Mrs. Madden, no! Mrs. Madden!
Oh.
Have you any consideration at all? Have you any feelings? You are driving me out of my father's house. Out of the home where I was born and reared. I hate going. I hate it. I'm a grown man, and I have nothing. No land, no money, and no home. Who do I have to thank for it all? My own mother.
Morris, I'm not forcing you to go.
You have an answer for everything. I'll get the car. Won't be a minute.
Now I see what you really like. I'll give him the happiness you never gave him.
Morris was always happy here until you came along. But you've come around him nicely between the pair of you.
By Jesus, I heard you were rough. And I heard you were tough. But hard is what you really are. You're as hard as nails. I swear there isn't a belly in all the hospitals of Ireland that couldn't throw out a gallstone half as hard as you.
You're a shagger! Oh. I'm sick of you! The cheek of you to come barging into my house like a circus elephant!
Oh, wouldn't I spit breath on you? Come.
If he ever gives in the years ahead, and wants to see you, I'll stop him. And even when you're on your deathbed, I'll stop him. And I'll get him to stop the others too. He'll see I can do it.
I know well what you can do, but the devil the use any of them will be to me on my deathbed. I'm alone now. But I'm free. And there's not too many women can say that. But I needn't be alone. That's a beauty. Woman need never be alone. As long as she has what men want, she never gives out. When I married, God help me, I was only a slip of a thing. I hadn't an idea what I was facing. You'd think someone would have warned me, but they all just stood back and let me go ahead. Marriage is the only safe place for a young girl, they said. You'll have a home, you'll have security. My marriage was a lifelong battle, with me always on the defensive and my husband trying to bend my will right from the very beginning. Oh, there were words of love. Blandishments. Didn't he call me a fair mare one time and he drunk? You're a fair old mare, he said. He spent after being astride me the one bare minute. You know, the first time, indeed the only time, I saw a man before I was married. It was a young gossoon and he bathing in the river. It was a harmless thing. And sure me, poor innocent me, didn't I think they were all like that before the first night of our honeymoon? You'd think my love life already trimmed and stunted to the marrow would have to endure no more. But the awful truth was my morals, my love life, my thought, word and deed were dominated by a musty old man with a Roman collar and a smell of snuff. I was suffocated by the presence of that old man. He sat in his confession box, withering, and me not knowing which way to turn for guidance. You know, my husband never saw me naked. He never saw me white and shiny and shivering without one blemish on me from head to heel. It must have seemed as frigid and cold to him as a frozen lake. Maybe that's what drove him into the arms of Moll Saunders and God knows how many others. My body might say one thing, but my faith always said another. And I was no match for that faith, upbringing of my faith. Curse that which withered my living and my loving of my womanhood. I should have been springing like a shoot of corn. I should have been singing with love, tingling. My love never grew. It is a wonder I didn't surrender entirely to insanity in a country where it was a mortal sin to even think about another man. And there was another. He was dark-eyed and quiet. He passed me 100 times on the road. And he'd say, "How you there, Maggie?" And he'd give one of the cows he was driving a little tip in the back with his ash plant. And I'd say, "Fine, thank you, Martin." And he'd pass on. Saw him blush once. He never uttered one word of love to me in all those years. And I longed for him, I craved him in my dreams, and I thinking how lovely it would be to walk with him through the dewy fields. But he did blush. He did blush. Yet I never set my cap for that man, or beamed at him, or winked at him, or held his hand, or even gave him the slightest clue of the names I called him as we cuddled together in those dreams. And Curly Ram, my sugar stick, my darling. He's dead now. That easy going on. And my husband is dead. All too soon I'll be dead too. But I I can have what I want for a while. Anyway, I can have any man in Ireland if there's a man I fancy and he fancies me. There's still time to fulfill myself. From now on, I'll confess my fantasies to a lusty, lanky man with muscle, a man brimming with sap and taspy, a man who will be a real match for big Maggie Pomplin. Weave of the chastity cord is around my belly and the incense is in my nostrils. I'm too long a prisoner, but I'll savour what I can, while I can, and let the last hour be the sorest.